How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a guy that some of you may know as P. Diddy, Sean Combs. I call him Puff. I had his first album back in the day. It's 1997. I had it on cassette tape. It was called Puff Daddy and the Family No Way Out, right around when Biggie Smalls had died. Anyway, I'll call him Puff. He made some comments on Naomi Campbell's podcast, and the clip of that was posted to her Instagram page. It's got quite a bit of negative comments, a lot of heated discussion. Now, before I get into what he said, let's go ahead and roll the clip. In this clip, you'll see Puff talk about the election, who you should vote for, who you shouldn't vote for, why you should vote for them. After we get done with that, I'll talk about what he said. I'll give you my 2 cents, my deep detail analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
The black vote is not going to be for free. We're going to have to see some promises. You know, what are we getting in return for our vote? Nothing has changed for Black America. And in order for us to vote for Biden, we can't be taken for granted like we always are because we're supposed to be Democrats or because people are afraid of Trump. It's whoever's going to take care of our community, whoever wants to make a deal. It's business at this point. You know, we can't trust politicians, you know, so we want to know very clearly, just like Trump made it clear that he wanted to build a wall. Biden needs to make it clear that he's going to change the lives and quality of life of Black and brown people, or else he can't get the vote. I will hold the vote hostage if I have to.
You said it here, said it first.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, what he said in that particular podcast has Black internet all over the place. They're scrambling. They're just really in a tizzy right now. And I don't see what he said that was really that wrong. Matter of fact, I would think that the Black internets would be supportive of Puff and what he said. Because first of all, you saw merchandise. You see he had on the African shirt. I'm like, okay, y'all should be for that, right? Y'all should be for all the Pan-African, red, black, and green, all this, that, and the third. What he said wasn't anything that was really conservative. Really, he was just like, hey, if I'm going to vote for you, then you can't just take my vote for granted. What are you going to do for me? What are you going to do for us? Why should I vote for you? Because I'm Black and I got to be Democrat? Nah, I'm not going to do that. You're not going to take my vote for granted. Okay. And be clear, the Democratic Party most certainly rely upon the Black vote. What, like 90%? If you have a vote coming to you with like 90% every single year, then at a certain point, you're going to rely on that. It's like low overhead. You don't do any outreach. You don't do any kind of programs. No, nothing. When you get in the office, you don't do anything. Before you get there, you don't do anything. The most you might do is a rap concert or something like that, like what Barack Obama did, but he brought people to the White House, you know, or if you go on stage with Beyonce or something like that, that'd pretty much be it. That'd be the extent of all the Black outreach that you get. Okay. And for that, you get the vote at 90%. That's kind of an unfair deal. Okay. If I'm going into a deal and then somebody's saying, okay, I'm going to offer you X for Y, X needs to be the equivalent to Y. It can't be, you know, so lopsided like that. You throw me a party and I give you 90% of the vote. That's not how that works. So what he said was right on point. But of course, a lot of the Black internets, the think pieces started to fly off of people's twills in their ivory tower in the sky. You know, the Griot wrote a piece. The Griot masquerades as a Black website, and they do have quote unquote Black centered content, but it's owned by NBC Univision. You know, I have my own website, shameless plug, anthonylogan.com. It's pretty much me writing articles. Okay, it's a Black website. It's owned by me. You know, the Griot is not. I'm not even on this whole pro-Black, blackity black, back to Africa thing. But I have more of a Black website than they do because they're owned by NBC Univision. My website is owned by me. But I digress. My whole point is that a lot of these think pieces and whatnot are coming from, in my humble opinion, the Democratic establishment. Masquerading as, you know, Black media and Black voices is really just from the establishment. If they were to have that clip of Puff and Naomi Campbell on, let's say, CNN, and then you have 4 or 5 Black anchors trashing them, is it coming from the Black anchors themselves, or is it coming from the programming of CNN? Is it coming from Jeff Zucker, the CEO of CNN, who does not want to have the Black vote be going anywhere else? That's what it's all about. It's not even about Puff. It's not even about Naomi Campbell. It's not even about Eurocone Uncle Tom. It's not even about that. to a regular normie that's not really aware of what's going on, it could be about that. They could be saying, oh, Puff, you out of line. You can't, so we can't vote Democrat. We got to get Trump out of there. To the regular normie, it could be about that. But to the establishment, to the larger apparatus of the Democratic Party, they're more worried about their vote going away because that mess up the money at the end of it, okay? If you get 90% of the vote and you rely on that to win anything, and you don't have it anymore, or it's kind of shaky, that's going to be an issue. That's why they hate Candace Owens so much. That's why they hate anybody that is not a white person, especially a black person, that is vocally thinking for themselves, that is vocally like, hey, we don't have to be Democrat. That presents a threat to the Democratic Party, and they're going to protect their party by any means necessary. That's very simple. It ain't really nothing else to it. Now, to the regular normie, all this coon, Uncle Tom, sellout, bootlicker, shoe shiner stuff, I mean, Puff, are you going to say that about him? A guy that's been in business for a long time, a black-owned business, put on a lot of black stars, okay? Been around for forever, a self-made man. Are you going to say that about Puff, really? You may say you could be crooked business-wise, but that's not even really fair to say either because that's just the music industry in general could be seen as crooked, although Puff has been a guy that has put on a lot of different people. Okay, and as a black man, so you should want to support him if you are this pro-black, black, back to Africa stuff. And I gotta say something right here. A lot of these so-called pro-black, woke black artists and that are the most hateful towards blacks. You know, I get called the most names from two different people, and they're really the same once you look at it, once you zoom out. Once you're in my shoes, you can see how they're the same. I get the most hateful comments from the super pro-black and the white liberal. They're like the same. They got the same talking points because look at why they say they hate Trump and why they hate me for saying that we should vote for Trump or a conservative or something like that. And maybe we shouldn't vote Democrat, and why they hate Puff as well. Look at the reasons. They'll say that Trump is bad because he wants to be against abortion, possibly overturn Roe v. Wade. That's a reason why you shouldn't vote for a guy, really? How many black babies have been killed since 1973 Roe v. Wade when abortion became legal? 23 million on the low end? And the lie I always hear is that, oh, well, if abortion was illegal, they would just go in the back alley and do it. That's false. I mean, legal abortion has caused more abortion. It's easily accessible. It's quote unquote safer for the mother, not for the baby. But anyway, it's easier to have access to. And you know that you won't necessarily die. The baby will, but you won't, for the most part. You understand what I'm saying? And if you do die, oh, well, it ain't no big deal. Malpractice, cellular, whatever. That's just kind of how they look at it from the medical industry. Okay. But for you as a person, shouldn't you want more of yourself to be here? If you're worried about getting killed by the police, why not be worried about getting killed by the abortion doctors? Okay, at full term, Ralph Northam, the blackface KKK governor, was trying to put in the bill that said you can abort a baby up until 9 months. When the baby was actually in the process of being born, or even afterwards, you can go ahead and kill the baby. Okay, in certain circumstances afterwards. But for any reason, mental health or physical health before, you can kill the baby. But that's why I shouldn't vote for Trump, because he's against stuff like that. Okay. I should be against Trump when he has funded historically black colleges. I should be against Trump when he has released thousands of black folks from the penitentiary who, by the way, Joe Biden locked up. Because let's not forget, the elephant in the room here is that Joe Biden wrote the 1994 crime bill that a lot of black Democrats say was wrong every single day. Oh, the crime bill locked us up. So many of our fathers and uncles and brothers and cousins are in jail because of that. Okay, well, who wrote it? Joe Biden. Who put it into law? Bill Clinton. And Joe Biden's running right now. Now, Bill Clinton has apologized for it. Afterwards, he said, we went too far. It was too much. I apologize. He did that on TV, on camera, in public. I think it was in a black crowd, too, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. But when they asked Joe Biden, hey, do you apologize for the crime bill? Did you go too far? He was like, nope, no, I didn't. I wrote it. So what? Matter of fact, a lot of black folks are wanting the bill, so don't get mad at me, get mad at them. Now, I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but he did not apologize, and he did say that a lot of black folks wanted it. A lot of politicians that were black wanted it, pointing their finger at them. So, I mean, how you feel about that? What if it was a guy like Trump saying something like that, or George W., or Ronald Reagan? How would you feel? Oh, it's okay because it's Joe Biden. And then beyond that, anybody should just look at what's happening and think, who's going to be the better guy? I got to pick one. Either I pick one or none. If I pick Joe Biden, this guy wrote the crime bill, not apologetic. He's for abortion. He's for very high taxes, high minimum wages, which kill black businesses. That's a fact. Look it up. Or Trump, a guy that's trying to, get money into the economy, funding black colleges, freeing black people, did not write the crime bill, obviously, is not part of this whole political system. Biden been there since the 70s in political office. Okay, since the 70s. What has he actually accomplished in his career? You tell me, what has he actually done? I don't really know much. When he was a vice president under Barack Obama, he could have fixed a lot of what he did with the 94 crime bill, but didn't really do it. It took Trump to take what Obama started, expand upon it and make it better. But why didn't Joe Biden do that when he was in office? Why didn't he convince Obama to fix what he had broken back in the 90s? Okay. What Puff said here was right on point. You can't take our vote for granted. If you want our vote, you got to be able to prove that you deserve it. You can't just take it. Now, I'm not saying rely upon the government for everything. I'm not that kind of guy. But I'm saying I'm not going to vote for you and put you in power for no reason just because I'm black and I got to be a Democrat. Okay, it'd be the same thing with Trump or anybody else, because let's be clear, when Trump was running, he had like 18 people he was running against, and they were all vying to become the nominee. And they all have to prove why they should be the nominee versus the other person. And Trump was able to do that. Biden's got to do the same thing. You can't just be Joe Biden right in there, do nothing and get elected. It doesn't make any sense. So anybody trying to hate on Puff or Naomi for having Puff on the podcast, out to be chanting yourself, what he said was right on point. And I see him more as of a Tariq Nasheed or Umar Johnson, that type of wave. Okay. And I'm not a fan of Tariq Nasheed. He blocked me on Twitter for some reason, but sometimes he'll say some things I agree with, about voting. Really, if they can't do anything for us, if they don't try to get the vote, if they don't reach out, and, if there's no reason to vote for a Biden or anybody else other than being black and a Democrat, that's not really enough. You got to do a little bit better than that. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that Puff was right on point when he said, hey, you can't just be Joe Biden and be a Democrat and have that be enough? You got to be able to do something to gain our vote. And if you can't, then I won't vote. Now, personally, I'm going to vote regardless. You understand what I'm saying? I'm voting for Trump, obviously. That's just kind of how it is. It's kind of how I operate. But I respect a person that says that I don't see anybody I want to vote for, or I don't see anyone that has my best interests at heart, so I'm not going to vote. The Democratic Party, however, don't like that too much, which is why you see so many hit pieces out there from the Democratic Party and their larger apparatus that you don't really see. The Griot and Madame Noir, places like that, all kind of backed by the same people. They want you to stay on the Democratic voter block, because if they don't have that block, that'll just mess them up nationally. It's not even really about you and your needs and the community. It's not about that. It's about money. It's about power. It's about greed. Shout out to Puff for being brave enough to say it. And hopefully he comes all the way full circle and votes for Trump. That'd be fantastic. What if, rather than holding the vote hostage, Puff says, everybody go vote for Trump? That'd be something right there. That'd definitely move the needle for sure. And it'd definitely cause a big stir. And you'll see who's really on your side and who's not. All these benevolent white liberals that got your back all the time. You won't be called so many coons, Uncle Toms, and N-words so many times in your life and make your head spin. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.